Okay, your learning target for today. I can use the words access, contamination, and equity to describe the First Nations people's water crisis in Canada. Here's Canada. Here's the First Nations people. By the end of today, you should have finished both sides of that worksheet. Your agenda. We'll do a quick intro, you'll have some vocabulary, and then you'll watch a documentary about the First Nations people in Canada. For your introduction, look at this picture of this First Nations woman. What water issue do you think this woman is facing? The First Nation people of Canada are an Indigenous group. That means that they were living in Canada first, before the French and British arrived from Europe. The First Nation people of Canada are living with a water crisis. Look at the map. Why is this surprising? All of this green is where they live. Why is it surprising that they have a water crisis? If you were noticing that they're surrounded by a lot of water, you're right, that is surprising that they have a water crisis. Water scarcity is not a problem. There's a lot of water all around them. Why do you think there's a water crisis then? Right now on your worksheet, find Canada and shade it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about all the little islands, but you should understand that it's north of the United States. Then you should label Ontario. Next, you need to write your reflection. The First Nation people of Canada are, you could say, the first people to live in Canada. Water scarcity is not an issue because, you could say, they're surrounded by water. Some water issues I predict the First Nations people might face are, look at the water. What do you predict? Some quick vocabulary. You need to write the word scarcity. Scarcity means not having enough of something. For an image, you could draw anything you want. I might draw like a no sign because you don't have enough. Access means being able to get to something. For example, right now you are in the computer lab and you don't have access to the pencil sharpener in our classroom. You can't get there. Contamination is a fancy way of saying dirty or not clean. You could draw like a gross cup of water. Equity means being fair. Remember this prefix, equa, means equal. So here you could write an equal sign for your image. Remember, equa means equal or fair. Equal, equity, equality, those words are all related. Time to watch the documentary. As you're watching the documentary, you need to fill out the back side of your paper. It asks you to fill in the blanks. You can pause as you're going. Don't worry about spelling.
The inequity around the water quality in our community is huge. There's all kinds of issues that each one of the wells and each one of our families and each one of our communities is dealing with continually.
The water is very bad. We don't consume it at all. I have a 3-year-old right up to a 13-year-old, 5 girls in total who have been raised without good clean water.
Our whole lives we have been under a boil water advisory. Our fountains over at the school are all covered up because we can't drink from them anymore.
We've been on the bottled water for 19 years now, and a lot of our kids grew up on that. My son Adam, he's 14 years old now, but he's had eczema since he's been an infant. These are some of the scars he has from that eczema on his, he's infected again. When I first started taking him to the doctor, they would give him all kinds of medication, and I would continually bathe him in that water. But after a while, I noticed that he was getting infections all the time, and I would continually be at the doctor's office. And finally, one day when I took him in, he asked me, he said, is your water treated at home? And I said, no. And I told him, I said that our water comes directly from the lake, I said, into our homes, and that we don't have a treatment plant. He said, there's your problem. He said, it's your water. He said, that's why your boy keeps getting these infections.
This is how we turn on and off our water. This is what me and my children bathe in. We started getting water jugs, you know, the Culligan jugs. I'm not sure how much they weigh. They put them outside. We used to get like between 10 to 20, and we had to carry these jugs. Well, I had to because I'm a single mother. I started carrying the jugs up the stairs. All of a sudden I got like a hot flash, and so I went to the bathroom. I noticed blood, and I'm like, oh my God. I go, oh please, like I hope I'm not having a miscarriage, right? I had a tear in my placenta.
Our people have worked and lived in harmony with the Great Lakes forever. Water is all around us. Water sustains us. Our elders, our culture, our knowledge keepers talk about the importance of water at all of our ceremonies. We do not deserve a substandard quality of life. Our people do not deserve a substandard quality of life.
Why should a child or a mother, anybody, period, have to struggle for a nice, clean glass of water?
My hope for my community, my dream for my community and my grandchildren is for them to have clean water.
Our learning target for today was I can use the words access, contamination, and equity to describe the First Nations people water crisis in Canada. Right now, on the back of your sheet, you need to describe their water crisis using the words access, contamination, and equity. All of these images are here on the bottom to help you. I hope you had a great day. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.